Hey, it's Jacob Wheeler, and you are listening to Jigs and Bigs.
No one goes to Hank's for his spreadsheets. They go for a darn good pizza. Lately, though, the shop's been quiet, so Hank decides to bring back the $1 slice. He asks Copilot in Microsoft Excel to look at his sales and costs and help him see if he can afford it. Copilot shows Hank where the money's going and which little extras make the dollar slice work. Now Hank has a line out the door. Hank makes the pizza, Copilot handles the spreadsheets. Learn more at m365copilot.com/work.
I'm not 18 anymore. I'm working, raising 2 kids, and I have little free time. That's why I chose University of Phoenix. I take one class at a time and log in on my schedule.
University of Phoenix, built for real life. Get started at phoenix.edu.
Bobby Roast Beef here. Another episode of Jigs and Bigs, and this week we have an absolute heater on deck for you. You are not going to want to miss out. We're kicking things off. Joe, a.k.a. American Vet Fishing. Yeah, that guy. Well, he's been putting in the work for Team Big Jig Energy and finally getting a limit together for us. And I've been at it this week too, but my results have been very, very different. And I had a little run-in with the cops at a launch recently. We'll get into all the details there. We also have an update on the second week in the online team's April tournament. And just the tip this week, we're giving you some juicy strategies for fishing new water on your next fishing road trip. And this can even be applied to local water in your area as well. Trust me, guys, you don't want to miss this. We got an awesome show lined up for you. All kinds of great stuff, including the live well, a couple of FTGs. You're not going to want to miss out. We'll see you guys in a bit. Go ahead and grab yourself something delicious to enjoy. It's Jigs and Bigs time, baby. You know, before we dive in, Joe, to all the go down the spiral and welcome new viewers and stuff, Bert comments. He says Bass and Brews didn't have this many issues last week. Bass and Brews has never had the level of production that we have in one episode, let alone the shit they they try to pull off in a year. I love those guys, but they know their place. They know what the fuck is up. So yeah, the beginning of this show is kind of a shit show, but here we are, folks, and we should let you know if this is your first time listening, everybody. Welcome to Jigs and Bigs. I am your host, Bobby Roast Beef, and we got who the fuck is Joe Brown, my regular weekly counterpart to this amazing fishing entertainment-based podcast right here. We're a weekly show, and we give you guys a big, hefty show. Usually our episodes run a few hours, and give you just all kinds of content. We're all about building that fishing community and engaging with anglers from all over the place. We're just here to have a good time. That's what it's all about. You may hear us reference some friends in this, like we mentioned Bert earlier, and a couple other people that we'll mention, I'm sure, that are our jig heads. Our jig heads are our Patreon followers, and they have access to see the show as we record it. So this is why we get a little light roast from them every once in a while when snafus happen. It's part of the whole deal. But you can join, and we try to hook you guys up too with like some additional discounts and things like that. Anything that we can do. So go check us out on Patreon. It's a big deal. It also is the most direct way that you can help the show and keep things going. We, of course, are on social media all over the place. Pretty much every single social platform. If you look up Jigs and Bigs, you'll find us. We're on Facebook with a Facebook page and a group. We also have a very active Instagram, which right now, as we record this on Friday, by the time you're hearing the show, it'll be over. But we have a contest going on with Bass Dash, and there's a lot of people. I think we're in the hundreds of entries already. I'm talking hundreds individual people. Those folks have entered multiple times as well, but man, hundreds of different people entering this. So it's pretty cool. Make sure to check us out on social media for all that stuff. You can also find us on YouTube, Jigs and Bigs, and look up American Vet Fishing as well. We both do our own unique type of content over there, and make sure to give us a follow. And of course, if you do like the show, number one, the biggest thing that you could do just directly that won't cost you a dime to help us out is give us a rating and review on the platform you're listening. So if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, fantastic. A rating review there goes a long way. On Spotify, you can give us a rating there as well. And on Spotify, you can even comment on the show. And we do interact with those comments. Actually, quite a bit. Plus, jigsandbigs.com has all your information, whether it's regarding merch for Jigs and Bigs or Big Jig Energy, our team tournament team here at the show, which is fine. Thank you, Joe. Finally doing some shit. And then you can also check out information with our tournament series. Online tournament series, we got a big one coming up this Saturday. Well, by the time you're hearing this, it'll already have gone by. But Saturday, April the 18th is the first Slot Limit Series tournament of the entire year in April. It's going to be an awesome one, so you're not going to want to miss out. That about does it for me. But Joe, I mentioned before that you put in the work. Dude, you had a very fishy week. You did. I would say you did have a very fishy week.
I did have a very fishy week, and I'm very happy for that. Yeah, man. So it was one of those weeks where I kind of took a day off because I just wanted to go fishing. So, and I want to get on the board for, Big Jig Energy. So I headed out to a local haunt, Splash the Boat. That was the first time I had the boat out since the little accident, but she's fine. No issues. And
that's good.
So I got out there and dude, the pattern was much different than I expected.
Really?
I mean, as you know, here we've had some like crazy warm, like unseasonably warm weather.
Oh yeah.
Which just spiked that water temp, and those fish were shallow. Like summer shallow. It was crazy.
No shit.
And so first place I went to, I was able to get onto smallies and largemouth.
That's awesome.
Got into a shallow spot with, some rocks, gravel bottom and stuff. And dude, I don't think I put the jerkbait down once.
Really?
That day.
No shit.
It was just like shallow jerkbaiting. And yeah, dude, it was just one fish after. And granted, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit later, but a lot of chasers, a lot of like smaller fish. I did get a hold of a couple decent ones.
That's good.
But I caught fucking 25 fish. It was just
that's awesome.
Lot of shorter, smaller fish. So. Yeah, so I went to that place, did that, and I was like, man, I was looking at a lot of like setup, like pre-spawn, staging areas and whatnot, and trying to scope them and everything. I wasn't seeing a ton, and I ended up, I was like, let me just move up and see, and that's when I started hitting on I went to this point. It was actually the point that I showed you when I went to this spot.
Okay.
Dude, that's where I caught half the fish that day.
Really,
just literally that one spot.
See, it's funny because I marked some fish on some brush piles, or maybe there were stumps that were on that area, and I was like, but they just didn't want shit from me, dude.
Yeah. Yep.
But it was much colder when I was there as well.
Yes. It was. So yeah, I grabbed a bunch off of there, got on, put a couple on the board. Those were all smallies there, and moved a couple other spots, and I didn't really get much. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, okay, well, I kind of figured I know where the smallies are hanging out. Like where the largemouth? Like I haven't caught a largemouth yet. Like where are they?
Oh yeah.
And I was like, let me try something here. So I go up super shallow onto like in and around a dock, and sure as shit, I run that jerkbait first cast on a dock, running it parallel with the dock, and I grab one, and I'm like, and it's a largemouth. I was like, son of a bitch!
No shit.
I was like, they're up here already. And so I ended up catching a bunch of those. Couple decent, like I think the biggest fish I caught that day was I think it was like, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was a 16-inch smallmouth, and that I put up there, and so grabbed that, had a good day. I was out there for a while, got us on the board. Like I said, I think I got the limit that day, and so what was it yesterday? my work decided to have, so because we have shift workers and everyone works, it's 73 through to 11 to 7, we had to have a meeting for the leadership. And because so that the mids guys don't get screwed all the time, they decided to have the meeting at 11:30 p.m. last night.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I had a meeting at 11:30 p.m. last night. I had to go back out to Westfield. But what I did before that is I brought the boat to work.
Yep.
I got out a tad bit early, and I hit a spot out there.
Yep.
Out in Western Mass, and it was just like immediately like lights out. Like I went to, for which lake I'm talking about, Bobby. I won't say the name, but I went to the northern portion first.
Oh, see, I've never fished up there.
Oh, you need to. That's where I get my best quality fishes out of there.
See, I usually launch out of one of the southern launches near the southern pond. And so maybe I'm fucking up. Maybe because I'll bet you launch
do
at
that
the bigger
north
launch, right?
there.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a nice launch.
It is. The one where I'm launching from is small. It's fine, but it is. Yeah.
How do you say Webster Lake's real name? Shan, nobody knows, dude.
The best we can do is Lake
Chungamunga Bunga Bong.
Yeah.
That's the best we got.
3 times. You say that 3 times. So I get in there, dude. Again, what do you think I pick up? That jerk bait. And the jerk bait I'm running too is a Vision 110 Junior.
Yep.
Junior.
Okay.
So, dude, it's like third cast around a dock. I grab one, a pretty decent one, throw it up on the board. And it was, I just running that shoreline, grab a lot of smaller ones, but
what was
just
your
grab
cadence like?
What's that?
What was your cadence like?
Fast.
Oh, you were really jerking it quick, huh?
Yep. Just like I do in the bedroom.
Yep. There you go, man. There you go. Because that's the thing about jerkbait fishing. I think that oftentimes people just don't think of. They're like, oh yeah, throw a jerkbait. It's not the bait. It's the motion of the ocean. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
No, dude, quick. I was fishing quick, covering water because like I tried something. So I did try something. I was like, all right.
Yep.
Like. My wrist is getting, my wrist is getting a little sore. You know what I mean?
None of us are strangers.
So I was like, let me throw a crankbait.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I tried a new dock. I want a little experiment.
Yeah.
I go, let me throw a crankbait.
Sure.
Nothing. I'm like, okay, let me throw a chatter. Nothing. The same dock. Let me throw that jerkbait again. Fucking grab one. I was like, are you shitting me right now?
That pause must have been just subtle enough for them to be like, I'm on it.
Yep. So I just kept working that the whole time, and again, just grabbing fish after fish. A lot of shorts, like I said.
Yep.
A lot of like 13-inch fish. 13, 14-inch fish. And but it's fun. You're catching fish.
That's
so
exactly it.
And, that's what matters.
And it's that little bit of hope, you know.
Yep. So I do, dude. I do almost the entire. Like every bit of structure on that shoreline of that northern basin, I did
the shit out of it. Nice.
And then that water is very clear too, surprisingly clear.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
So I'm looking at Shan's thing. I did see that. I saw that on the socials.
The 110 Junior +2. My God.
Yeah. But so I get to this one dock, dude. And I'm doing that, and it's pretty shallow there. Mm-hmm. And dude, I see like a 3-4 pounder.
Oh, all right.
Well, I'm not gonna say chasing, following it.
Oh,
so I'm like, oh shit. So I'm like, but she just kind of like, you could tell she had like no, like she wasn't gonna commit to it. She's just like making sure it gets the fuck out of here type deal.
Mm-hmm.
So then, dude, so I see her and I see her head back towards that dock. And I just fucking ripped every rod I could think of out of the rod locker to try everything, dude.
Because you know
like,
she was
here
there.
We go.
Yep.
And dude, I couldn't get. I was still. I'm gonna. So all right. I'll jump to this. So what I kind of realized, like after this fishing, after that outing, like today, what I was kind of realizing, and I did a little research. I was like, fuck, man, like. basically what it is kind of like what's going on right now is two things, and I didn't put it into perspective at the time. Mm-hmm. The little ones are up quicker, and they're like chasing and they're like chasing and like all that. The bigger ones are just kind of chilling, and so I was looking for those reaction strikes and stuff for the smaller ones. I wasn't fishing slow enough for the bigger ones.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the bigs. I wasn't like pinpointing structure. I was just kind of throwing in and around it.
Yep.
And getting those chasers. Only that one fish. I mean, God, I threw everything at her. I threw everything from drop shot to a bellow gill on a Texas rig to Senko. Like I threw everything at her and she wanted nothing. But so I ended up checking out the other 3 basins of this lake. I grabbed a few more, one more decent one. Oh, I had a fish jump the board. I had a good fit that would be on the board right now. And because I was at first I was measuring them on the back deck.
Yep.
And the fish is on there. And you know what? When they tighten up and you're like, oh, she's going to try to jump. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You know. She tightens up. And I was like, oh, come on. So I squeeze a little harder. She does the flop, dude. And she fucking their spine catches me in the finger. So immediately I'm like, oh, fuck. And then she like bounce right off the boat. I'm just like, oh, my God. You fucking bitch.
Dude, it's tough. Like, it's like especially when you're on a bass boat and you don't have those gunnels like protecting you.
Yeah.
If there's one thing I'm so lucky about, it is that.
Yeah.
CPR.
So after that, I was doing it in the cockpit.
Smart.
down on the floor.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it was a good time. Like I said, caught a shit ton of fish. I'm thinking about going in the morning and dragging I can't do the slot limit, unfortunately, because I can't go a full day. Because I do have some shit around the house I gotta get done.
Sure.
But even Meg mentioned, she's like, maybe, me, you, and Em will go on the boat for a couple hours in the morning. And I'm like, okay. I was like,
there you go.
I'll take that.
Hell yeah.
So I think we're gonna do that. Don't know where yet. Mm-hmm. Not sure about that, but yeah, that's kind of where we're at now. Now I know I'm going to kind of pinpoint structure a little better.
Yep.
Than I was. I think I figured it out, Bobby.
Oh, okay. What did we figure out?
I think I figured out the setup to be able to skip docks finally with a bait casting setup.
Oh, no shit. What's that?
Finally. And it's Shan. So Shan, the man, I hope he's still listening to this. I almost called him on the water because of this yesterday. So
really?
Shan and I have been having an ongoing conversation in regards to DC reels.
Okay.
And I've told him, I was like, dude, like they're okay.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of hype around it. I said, I was like, I know the one thing, or he mentioned is like the one thing people say they're good for is skipping. And I was like, yeah, I could see that. Like they're a little better with that. So, dude, I had my Levante rod. I have a Scorpion DC reel on it. I put a 3/8 ounce bullet weight Texas rig bellows gill.
Okay.
I pinned the weight, and dude, I finally was able to do it. Like it was. I tightened the shit out of that fucking reel, and I was able to finally skip some friggin' docks with a bait casting reel. You know what I mean?
Dude, it's so funny. Ever since we got that question from Eli, I've been paying attention to because that's the thing. I don't think I'm going to skip this under here and whatever.
Yeah.
I had a couple of skips and honestly, they're never going to see the light of day because they were just wasted footage where I had no action other than a couple of good skips. You know how I like to throw a swim jig with a big trailer on it?
Yep.
I had one of those that was all the way under. It was crazy. A couple of them. And it was just, there's just something that you get it and then you start to really get it. Although I keep my reel fucking wide open, man. It's like pitching loose, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But it's just so weird. I'm not saying that it hasn't bit me in the ass, but it's
sure.
You just got to figure out what works for you.
I was actually going to call Shan tomorrow and be like, all right, dude. I was like, here's
something about this.
I have some new information about DC reels.
Mm-hmm. That's good, though.
Yeah, dude, it was good because you know how it is. 99% of bass fishermen can skip a spinning rod with a fucking Senko. You know what I mean?
Drunk.
Like under a dock, like a pro.
Yeah.
The biggest problem with that is a lot of the big fish hang out under there, and you don't have the leverage to power that thing out of there if you need to on a spinning setup.
Especially if you've got like something that they can get wrapped around or something like that.
Yeah,
like, that's a whole
and
other
like
thing.
Yeah, you can flip and pitch a jig like kind of under there, but if you really want to get under there, you know what I mean?
You got to be able to,
Yep. So so that was kind of a cool thing to discover yesterday.
That's cool.
And I also I didn't catch it. Actually, I didn't catch it. Thank God. Big slime dart that was just breaching like crazy as I was reeling it in.
No shit.
Yeah, it was nuts. And I was like, and I realized it's a slime dart, and I'm like, oh fuck. So I'm just like, it was one of those things where I'm just like holding it next to the boat, like trying to like prepare myself to have to fucking handle this thing.
You're like,
yeah, dude. Like, oh, great. Now my hands aren't gonna feel the same the rest of the fucking day, and I don't have a rag to grab it. And
hooks at hoodlums, flag rag.
I know. I have one, and I just fucking never bring it with me. So he shook himself off the hook off the side of the boat.
Oh, you got lucky. That's great.
Thank God.
Nice.
Thank God. And I saw about a 15-pound koi fish, bright ass orange in that lake in the North Basin. Yep.
No shit. Okay, I could definitely see that actually.
Just trolling around, dude. Just trolling around. Just
I could definitely
hanging out in the shallows.
See some asshole that lives on that lake with like a koi pond that's like, this fish is too big, we're gonna let it go, and they put it in the
dude. Now that thing's fucking thriving, bro.
Oh, I bet you it is. Shit.
It was funny because there's like a couple people on kayaks like following it, like, look at this thing.
Yep.
But it was actually super busy at the boat ramp as I was getting off. Like you had a lot of the riffraff kind of coming onto the lake, and and a lot of people putting their boats in for the first. A lot of people putting docks in.
Yep.
So, but yeah, man, it's a good week. Good fishing week,
man. That's awesome.
Gonna get back out there tomorrow, hopefully. Fingers crossed. As long as I don't think the girls realize it's supposed to be a little chillier tomorrow.
Yeah, it is.
But we'll bundle them up.
Yeah, there you go. It'll be great. I had a vastly different week than you. Very, very fishy, just in a different kind of way entirely. So backing all the way up, I fished last Saturday, the spot that you would recommended that I go to, and Paul and we ended up doing 2 different ponds. Tons of wind that day, crazy wind, and it was chilly, man. I think it was like low 40s or maybe even
cold.
High 30s when we got on the water. It was rough. Also got a little lesson at the boat launch there. The foliage has not grown in yet to where you can take a shit in private. So that is
at the lake I told you.
Yeah, I was like,
dude, there's a porta-john at the town beach.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
Well, shit, I didn't realize that. It was like, what I did was I splashed Paul, and then I went to Cumbies around the corner to go do a splash myself. And then come back over. But no, it was really good. It was really good. Zach says, I see your angler cheeks are coming in nicely, Bobby. Absolutely, dude. I'm trying and failing significantly to take my hat off while I'm fishing every so often, and my glasses to kind of like balance things out. It's not working. It's going to be bad. It's going to be real bad. But what else did I get into this week? So we had 2 different ponds that we hit. Crazy wind each day. The first spot that we were at, we found fish. The problem was they were just not bass. We found, when I say jumbo yellow perch, Joe, I mean jumbo yellow perch. I'm talking like 11 and a half, 12 inches in length, and look like they swallowed a baseball. No bullshit, like puffer fish. You're like, what is wrong with this fish?
Crazy orange colors too.
Wicked bright.
Like more so than I've ever really seen out of there. Because I ended up getting one out of there as well. And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Because in my head, I was like, oh, I wonder if it's just like the photo. I ended up grabbing one too, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
It's just so fucking heavy. And I picked up 2 on a small lipless from Anthem. Actually, it's a nice downsized lipless. It's a 3/8 ounce. The color I'm throwing is kind of a craw pattern, and like this on the. And I'll tell you what, man, these are the first fish I caught on that Sniper 2 from Arc, the glass rod. And this is cool because I haven't hooked up with a fish yet on that rod to know that like it is not sensitive at all. Like it's like all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, there's weight there. And granted, this is like a 12-inch fish that weighs like, a pound maybe, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like crazy, but you're like, oh wow, yeah. There's definitely some weight. I can only imagine what getting a quality fish is going to be like on that rod,
right?
And maybe tomorrow we'll figure that out. So Paul and I we hit a handful of spots. It was kind of a mess. We ended up going to another spot where we did find more jumbo yellow perch. Nothing as like shocking as the first spot, but we did eventually find some active bass. And what we had to do is just play the game and hit the banks where the wind was kind of pushing bait. And we eventually found this one spot, this one bank where they were stacked up. The first bass I caught was too short. Didn't do nothing. The next one was a 13.5. That was for the derb. So thank goodness I managed to get that in. And then I caught a giant crappie that went exactly 13 and a half inches as well. And all of these were actually on finesse swim baits, like three and a half inch size swim baits. And they were eating. And like you say, like they're up shallow. We were catching these fish in like under 4 feet of water. I think the boat was sitting in 4 feet of water and we were casting up shallow and bringing it back. And we were not very far off of the bank and they were just smashing it. So we did a few laps over there because of the wind. Like my trolling motor was going like crazy. I think we fished for a total of like 6 hours, 6.5 hours maybe. And my battery was just like, fuck you, buddy. So we're like, all right, we'll call it. We roll back out. We head over to, we call that a day, which was fine. I did get out on Sunday. I had absolutely no action. And I went over to a body of water that I have a big PB from. And I started dropping the boat over there. And something happened this week that was kind of crazy. But that day, I started to consider that maybe my dog Eleanor is not the good luck charm I thought that she was, because every time I'm out with her, it's just like an absolute shit show, just awful, the worst. I also fished Tuesday with her at this same place because I was like, okay, so things are kind of warming up a little bit, and that's the thing. This is a smaller pond, so the water temps are up there. Dude, I saw 60 degrees.
Oh, I forgot to tell you that.
Yeah.
Guess what it was in the North Pond, dude?
In the North Pond?
Of where I was.
I would say, honestly, probably about 59, 60, something like that.
66.
66? What's the depth up there?
Huh?
What's the depth up there? Is it generally pretty shallow?
No. That's the deepest base. I mean, granted, I didn't fish the deep end, but it's like 30 feet.
No shit. I didn't realize it was that deep up there. I thought it was relatively shallow. Well, fuck me. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, it was. I
mean, well,
I actually meant to tell you that part.
We had temps that hit 90 here.
Oh yeah,
like air
my
temps.
Dick off
It was ridiculous. Like
and now it's supposed to be 50s next week, like tops. It's supposed to be a low of 24 on Monday.
I know. It's fucking
crazy.
insane. And I'm going to South Carolina next week, dude. Like, that's so stoked, man. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So, I fished on Tuesday with her. I caught a couple of rainbow trout on just a variety of baits. I started out throwing, because we had like direct sunlight, I was like, I'm going to go a little bit more subtle with the moving presentation. And I was throwing around a small swim bait. And I got a couple of follows, and I was like, I just because it's downsized a little bit more. And I busted out the old bait finesse, and I started throwing around a smaller representation of exactly what I was throwing, and bang, immediately started catching rainbows. I was like, okay, at least I know that there's stuff that's eating here, and I know that these fucking rainbows have been stocked here long enough where their hunting instincts are starting to come back. So I have an idea of when that was. I did spot a few bass, but none of them really kind of wanted anything that I had to give them. And I was flipping jigs up in the cover, like all kinds of shit, nothing. So I'm just frustrated at this point. I was like, God damn it. And this is the day, Joe, actually, where you had gotten us to a limit. Oh, like you were like, oh yeah, like, oh, we're on. I'm like, all right, at least there's fish going in. This is good. Like, I'm like, we got 5. That's awesome. So I go from that spot. I head back over to the ramp, and this is where I had a run in with the law. So I get to the launch, and I'm pulling my boat out, and this cruiser comes down, and I'm like, oh God, how's this gonna go? And the cop says to me, he's like, hey, man, how's it going? You catching them? I was like, oh, they're not really too cooperative other than a couple of, stalker rainbows. And he goes, yeah, he's like, I just want to come down and let you know we had a call. Somebody was complaining that you were in there with your gas motor. I was like, huh. I go, yeah, I was. I said, it's interesting because a couple weeks ago I came down here specifically to read that sign over there with all the regulations, and it doesn't say shit about gas motors being prohibited or a horsepower restriction or any wording like that. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, this is managed. This is a state boat launch, right? And he was like, well, I mean, yeah, but like it's a city thing, and they don't want gas motors in here. I was like, well, you guys should put up a sign. And he's he goes, we're working on it. We're trying to get there. He's like, not that I have an issue with it or anything, but like, we got a couple of complaints and everything. Now I know I am old enough and wise enough to know that this argument is not an argument. Like I realize like I will be wrong no matter what I say. You know what I'm saying? I get it. And furthermore, I don't even give a shit. But what I did leave him with was, what you guys should really spend your time doing is coming down here and checking these parking spots that are longer than your average car, that are for trailers. People just park wherever they want. Yeah. And I'm like, I've called about that before because I haven't had a place to park when I was with my kayak trailer. And I was basically told, like, you got to deal with it. People park where they park. So I'm like, all right, that's off the list.
So here's how I look at this, Bobby.
Yep.
Because fuck the establishment. If it's not posted anywhere, if it's not posted on a sign, on a website, a city or a state website, a city or state sign, then the rule doesn't exist.
That's the way I exist.
You can't sit here because that's the thing you said. The thing you said is like, oh yeah, they just don't really like them in here. Well, I don't give a fuck what they like.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%.
And so I'm sure if I were you, I'd keep fucking going there until there's a fucking sign up from the city or the state.
What I would do next time is just go like, just cite me. Go ahead and write me a ticket. What's it going to say?
Are you willing to give the city or town? I'm just curious.
East Hampton, Massachusetts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not 100%. Familiar with it there.
Yeah. No, 100%. Like, and this is a spot that gets wicked pressure all the time. Yeah. And like, I thought, what was it? I guess it was on Sunday I was there, and there were some dudes fishing. I heard him say something like, oh, I hope he's got an electric motor. And I was on the trolling motor at the time. And I'm like, I've seen boats in there with no trolling motor and only an outboard, like a tiller. I've seen them in there.
Could I launch my boat in there?
You should power load.
That's what I'm thinking. If I could fucking launch it, if it's like, if I could physically do it, if the boat ramp's good enough, I'll do it. I will, and I'll turn that V8 right on, dude.
I will tell you this much, like, and that's the thing. I'm sure what they're thinking is like, oh, there's people that live around here that don't want to hear the gas motors and everything like that. You're never going to get on plane there. There's not enough room to. There's not.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's never going to happen. You're going to idle. That's what happens. So it's not a big deal. Like, it's not that big. And yeah, it's totally not. Like, it's the long way. You would absolutely have the room, but there are so many paddlers and shit. You'd leave in cuffs. There's no way you can get on plane. There's no way. Even in my boat, no way. Yeah, I was like, you have got to be fucking shitting me. And so needless to say, like, that was a little bit ridiculous. So that was,
I hate that shit, man.
Oh,
I
me
hate
too.
That shit with a passion.
It is the worst. It generally is. Let's see. Cops met me at the boat launch. Wednesday is when I started to kind of get things in order for South Carolina. I put something back into my truck that I haven't had in there for like 3 years.
What's that?
Back seats.
Interesting.
I removed my back seats a couple years ago for primarily for camping because they're always set down, and I'm like I always have gear for work and everything. I'm just gonna leave them down, and it hasn't really been a problem, but with my wife and my youngest flying down to South Carolina and me bringing the boat down, if we want to go and just like go for a drive elsewhere or something like that, instead of having to Uber or whatever, I'm just put the back seats back in, whatever. It'll be fine. So I've got those back in there. I started playing the equipment game where I'm only going to carry around the stuff that I really need. My last trivia night is Sunday. So after I get out of work, I got to go drop that stuff off, grab the camp stuff. If I decide to make it a 2-session drive, it's looking at it now, it's like 16 hours.
Yeah.
And I would feel absolutely comfortable doing 12, 13 with just let it rip. We'll see how it goes. I don't know how it's going to be towing the boat, I'm also going to leave Monday morning at like 3 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning, something like that. Just get up, get out,
do it.
and then send it, and then see what happens. Benny says, I've never seen Bobby's rig with back seats. You didn't even know it came with them. What else did I do this week? Organize more tackle. I got more stuff from Evolution. I got another ballistic box. That's a jig box. And I got to tell you guys, this thing is like chef's kiss. It is so nice and well organized. I went through and I streamlined more tackle. I got another one of these Evolution, almost like a briefcase style soft plastics organizer. And this one is only paddle tail swim baits and other, swim baits essentially of all different sizes. And it is, I'll tell you what, the packaging with those can suck a fat one. Because, dude, it's the clamshell boxes. They don't fit in any real good quality way. So I got to find a way to replace some of those and everything and streamline. I still have a dry bag that's got a bunch of other plastics, but I also got another bag from Evolution, which is a large, almost like a money bag, but it's a little bit more rigid and has more structure to it, and it's what do they call it? It's gusseted at the end, at the bottom, so it opens up pretty well. And that is all of my stuff that's 3 inches or under, under 3 inch baits. So a lot of the bait finesse stuff that I use, a lot of the drop shot stuff, all that's in there. I've got all kinds of stuff all packed together. So I'm pretty well organized as far as that goes. I'm waiting on that Yak Attack black pack to get everything actually set up where I want it. But right now I am looking good and I am happy. So things are kind of organized. Evolution boxes are the deal, Benya. You are not kidding. I love it. What else we got going on this week? Oh, and then this Wednesday, I put on Spotify our hype song, Big Jig Energy.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
I was kind of amazed. I set up the distribution for it and everything. So it's it's on all the platforms. It's on Apple. It's on YouTube Music. It's on everything. You can search the artist Bobby Roast Beef, Big Jig Energy. You'll find that. But I was you know what? I think I'm gonna lean into this because the feedback's been really good, and I'm well, shit. If I can use some of this music and use it in the content that we're making and kind of make it do two things, let's have some fun with it. So I released a new single today, Joe.
Yeah,
I did. And this song is called Slot Limit Savage. And essentially, this song is a breakdown of the rules and also a little bit of a hype jam also for our Jigs and Bigs nationwide slot limit tournament. So here's a little sample for you guys.
Okay.
Make it clean. Hit some hits. Watch the screen. Slot limit savage. Stack them up and run the average. Slot limit savage. 12 to 17. We made it.
So for those that are what the fuck is this slot limit
That's
thing
Bobby's
all about?
voice.
Yeah, fucking every
Bobby has a
instrument, too.
studio and recorded that.
Absolutely. No, for every single every person who's asked me what the hell is the slot series all about? This is how we as the entire country and Canada, because we have some Canadian entries as well. I'm not sure if the new rules reflect that or not, but I let them all in. This is how we can all kind of compete and engage in this format of a tournament by evening things out for everybody. That slot, that 12 to 17 inch slot, it's a catch 'em all style. So catch as many fish as you can within that slot And then you leave with a cash prize. It's pretty badass. It's good stuff. And the turnout this week has been really good. Like, I think we're at like 12 or 13, maybe even 14 anglers right now. Like, it's pretty good. And then Benny and I were talking about what is on tap for May. And in May, we have 4 tournaments going on, Joe.
Jesus.
We have 4 freaking tournaments. We've got the scavenger hunt open. That's happening. That's a week-long like catch-em-all style, or catch-em-all, like a Pokemon. Almost imagine that. Like, gotta catch them all. So that's scavenger hunt. The championship is also that weekend. So there's a 48-hour window with the championship from last year that's happening. We have the team tournament and a May slot. It's going to be insane, dude. It's going to be absolutely insane. So, John Hagan says, new band, Bobby and the Beef Curtain Bruisers. Okay. I'll leave you with that image. So yeah, things are good. I mean, we got a lot of shit going on, and it's been really good. It's been busy. I will tell you also, with planning for South Carolina, like Santee Cooper is the move. Confirmed with Paul the Jabberhammer after I was on Bass and Brews. That episode actually just dropped on Spotify today. You guys can check that out. Today, Friday, as we record this. And he's not available to fish. He's like, I got too much going on with work. I won't be able to get away. I'm still kind of back and forth with Andrew Blair. I might only get to fish Santee Cooper a handful of times through the week, like proper. My goal is this, Joe. I want to take an evening. I want to find a lake near where we are in Charleston. So I'm gonna say this. Jigs and Bigs listeners, if you're familiar with the Charleston, South Carolina area, okay, and you know of just a nice, easy access lake where I can try to go and take my wife to catch some fish and see if she can actually catch the bug to enjoy doing this, hit me up. Jump into my DMs and let me know the deal, because I hear watch out for stumps. That's all I hear is watch out for stumps. And
the old Widowmakers.
Yeah, I've seen some photos and video of some of these areas, and it is crazy. So yeah, I am going to be 100%. I'm kind of attacking this whole thing the way a kayak angler would. I'm looking at areas that I want to fish and the closest launch. I'm not going to be doing long runs for anywhere, and I'm looking to get close to it. We'll make our way over there. I'm not looking to spend the whole day driving, because in my boat, that's what'll happen. It'll be all day long. That's going to be no fun. But yeah, so if you can make a suggestion in that area where we could dip out of the Airbnb, go and soak a line, maybe get her on some like quality fish, that would be amazing. Because we've been together. Our anniversary is coming up. Not tomorrow, but the weekend after, the 25th, right? 17 years we've been married.
Hell yeah.
17 fucking years. She's never caught a fish with me, ever. She's had a turtle bite a lure. That was exciting. But she has never caught a fish with me. And I'm like, I think she could easily get into this if she just wasn't like, well, that was 3 hours I wasted doing nothing, So we'll see what happens. But yeah, if you have some suggestions of like a nice, easy spot I can go splash the boat. I'm even putting the Bimini top on just so that I can have it. So that if she's like, yeah, let's go take the boat out. Okay, cool. Here's some shade. Awesome. I hate that thing, but it is what it is. And then that about does it for me as far as my week. Like, things are just kind of all over the place, man. It's been freaking crazy. We do have some headlines, news and sports, you might say.
That's right.
You ready for this, Joe?
Let's do it. All right, so we got our ding dong of the week, because this man faces 10 years in jail for lying about a bass. And that's because a 12-pound bass roaming Toledo Bend Lake has quite a story to it. Jody Jean of Leesville, Louisiana, weighed the fish on certified scales in the Toledo Bend Lake Association Lunker Bass program in mid-March, and basked in his newfound fame. There's only one catch, though. Enforcement agents with the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries believe that Gene committed fraud. That huge bass was caught on another lake and not on Toledo Bend. This isn't about a fishing violation. It's about fraud, a law enforcement official told Wired to Fish. Gene wasn't in it for the money. No cash prizes are presented in the Lunker Bass program on the huge reservoir that straddles the Louisiana-Texas border. Mm-hmm. Instead, he allegedly wanted the free replica mount, for which TBLA pays the $550 cost. That the event presents to entrants weighing in a bass 10 pounds or bigger. Gene signed the paperwork attesting that the fish was caught legally at Toledo Bend. He posed for a picture with the fish with his catch. Then it was tagged and released. The photo was posted on the Lunker Bass program's Facebook page, and Gene was the talk of the lake area, but not for long. Some detective work by game wardens uncovered inconsistencies with Gene's fishtail. A day earlier, agents conducted a routine patrol on Vernon Lake, and one of the fishermen there showed them a 12-pound bass he caught that morning. The man boasted that the bass was the biggest he had ever caught and talked about having it mounted. Law enforcement officials said, Law enforcement officials said the agents noticed a telltale marking on the fish's tail, indicating it had been spawning, but thought nothing of it. Until a day later, March 16th, when they saw Gene's photo with the fish on the Lunker Bass program's Facebook page. Gene was even wearing the same shirt he had when he talked to the game warden on Vernon Lake. And the bass' distinctive marking was obvious in the photo, agents said. That was enough to get an arrest warrant, and during questioning, Gene allegedly admitted guilt. But the incident is still the talk of the Toledo Bend Lake area. People say it's just a fish, but that's not the point, said a spokesperson for the Lunker Bass program. If you don't play by the rules, it's not sporting anymore. It's a scam. It's unfortunate that something like this happened. We're trying to promote our bass fishing and recognize the fishermen who catch lunkers, and then someone tries to scam us. Toledo Bend has been on a hot streak as of late, as evidence by the 12.5-pound giant recently landed, along with others. So this dude was talking to the game warden with this fish on Vernon Lake, and then was like, actually, I'm gonna say it was Toledo Bend, and here we are.
No shit.
Yep.
All that because he wanted the free mount.
All because he wanted the free mount, bro.
What a douchebag, man. That's freaking crazy. People are nuts though, and man, I'll tell you, this hits a little bit close to home because of the story that's been going. Have you seen what is it? Biggie's Bass Fishing, I think, is the channel. Mark Burgess. He's been doing a lot of stories about the record 15-pound. Yeah. It's 50 some years old now that record's been set. I think it was 1973 was the year. Yeah, and he was, there's a lot of speculation that is not accurate. There's a story that came out that fish was actually from Florida. And I don't know, man. It's maybe it's just me. If I did I couldn't falsify some shit like that for the accolade or whatever. Cause that doesn't matter. It would be actually organically catching whatever that record is. You know what I mean? If I couldn't live with myself, I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know, man. Freaking crazy shit.
I get it. But you just talked to a game warden showing them the 12-pound fish on a different lake, and you didn't think someone was going to see that? That's what I'm saying. And with social media, you just make it that much easier. You know, sharing the photo and the fact that he was wearing the same fucking shirt. It's just dude, that's fucking amazing. Amazing. It's great. Amazing. It's a nice shirt too.
Yeah, I bet. Fucking A. Well, let's dive into. We got sports that we got to do. So I'm gonna do this so you guys, the jig heads, can see this. But Binya's been dropping this video the day after the show is live, so you can check it out on Instagram and everything. But here we'll take a look at what Binya's got to say regarding the team tournament.
Hey everyone, Binya here with a Jigs and Bigs tournament season update. It is April 17th, 2026. The only live event we have at this recording is the Buds April series. There's been some movement, and more importantly, Team Big Jig Energy, after all the smack they've been talking, has finally broke into the 5-fish limit. Joe Brown got on the water and threw up a bunch of fish, getting them up to 78.5 inches. They're not in the money, but they're moving up the board, so good job, guys. We have a newcomer into the top 5, Klondike Swamp Yankees at 90.75 inches, finally eking their way up. They've been moving up throughout the event and finally managed to break into the money-paying spots. We have Real Problem coming in at 96.25 inches. They're down a little bit in the standings, but they're still in the money. We got Geronimo also down a little bit with 98.25 inches, and that is because we have 2 teams, yes, I said 2, with century belts over 100 inches. We have Team Sticky Rice with 101.5, and that damn Team Beaver managed to get another big one this week, getting them up to 106 inches. Again, as of this recording, we only have the April Bud season live, but tomorrow, the Jigs and Bigs slot series makes its first edition of 2026, so be on the lookout for next week's episode for the final results of that event. Great job, guys. I'm expecting to see a lot of movement this weekend with the weather really warming up in my area, and I know a lot of the other areas, so I have a feeling you're going to see a huge shakeup in the standings. You guys should listen to Jigs and Bigs podcast next week to make sure that you find out where everybody fell in the coming week.
It is intense. It is very, very intense. That whole, just the action this week that's been going on with that freaking tournament. It's crazy. And, yeah. I mean, I like the way you can tell this frustration in Binya's voice when he's like, that Team Beaver, and I'll be fishing tomorrow, not very far from Sean the Fisherman, one of Team Beaver's anglers. Mm-hmm. And the plan is we may go and grab a bite to eat after the tournament's over.
There you go.
Take notes. So it should be very, very interesting. I'm going to be out on the water too with Paul. So again, in proper, Bobby roast beef form, I'm taking an angler out for the slot limit tournament to, try and send it and make it happen. We'll see what happens. Mm-hmm. Be really good. I do want to talk about, there's one other thing I forgot to mention this week. This last Sunday, I got a delivery that came in, right? And Joe, you might remember this, but for a while, I was really into using these Frostbuddy Universal Can coolers. They're freaking awesome. I was I've been looking around for a coffee mug. I've got this great Stanley mug I like for camp. It's just too small to take on the road for a trip. I just go through it too fast. And I'm all right, so I just pulled the plug on one of these. I got a couple of them, and I had the opportunity at checkout to add a mystery for half price, a mystery one, and they sent me this purple one. I was like, okay, sweet. But the reason why I really bring this up is because I am drinking something magical, Joe.
Do tell.
We had a conversation about this a couple years ago.
Sure.
The creamy coconut Dr. Pepper zero sugar.
Right.
I was this is Monday morning, right? I had a couple of errands I had to run and needed to get a couple of items from a local store. So I go in, I walk by and I see this end cap and I immediately, I froze, I saw a ghost. This stuff is so good. It is so good. I ordered some on Amazon and it just never showed up. Because people were buying it and reselling. Yeah, it just never showed up. And I could never find the zero sugar. So I was like, you motherfucker. Did it have a candy dick in it, Bobby? No, it didn't have one of these in it. It did not. But I was like, okay, so that's cool. But what I'm doing is this. I bought 5 cases.
Holy fuck.
Well, I got one of them. I'm throwing in the cooler for Paul and I tomorrow. I'm like, because just game on. But the other one, I'm like, I've been really into this like drink enhancer tincture from this company, High Five. Mm-hmm. So this little tiny container right here has 200 milligrams of THC. Basically equates to like 1 milligram per drop. So I can make anything I want. A little bit of a fun beverage. You know what I'm saying? Mm. Anything I want. So I'm like, this is what I've been doing. And I got to tell you, delicious.
That's awesome. I didn't get my hands on it last time because it wasn't even last year, was it? Was it last year? Or was it the year before?
It was 2 years ago. It was the first year I got the boat, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this shit's great." Blah 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 blah. And after I killed that with that 112 pack I picked up, I wasn't able to find anywhere. I could find the regular, and I'm like, not the way I drink anything. Like no, I'm like, it's got to be zero sugar. It's got to be. So,
I made myself an old fashioned tonight.
Ah, classic.
Yeah, I'm a big Bobby. Let's talk food for a second.
Let's talk food.
You and Holly and Meg and I will join you. Okay. But you and Holly need to come out to Savage Smash in Spencer.
Yes, we talked about this on the show. Didn't you guys like DoorDash while we were recording or something?
So I forgot to tell you. So last week, I think, or the week before, we ended up going there.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, dude. So it's very small place. Like sorry, it's not Henny. So anyway, lost my train of thought. So, dude, the food was, we had only DoorDashed it before. So we're like, yeah, it's pretty good. When you get it there, dude, the food is phenomenal. Like Meg got this burger. I can't remember the name of it. It's kind of like island themed. It's probably called the Island Burger. I don't know. Dude, a fresh piece of grilled pineapple on it and shit. And like, so, but like I got the bacon jam burger, but
yes,
dude, they have an old fashioned that it's a smoked old fashioned.
Oh yeah,
dude. They bring it over in this like looks like a treasure chest, dude. Like and like open it and it's all smoke. The smoke comes out, dude.
Theatrics. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, dude. I was like, and I said it I was like, oh my God, dude. I was like, you didn't have to do this. Like I just want to drink. He's like, nope. He's like, you ordered it. This is what you get.
You get the whole show.
Dude, how much you like? Phenomenal old fashioned with the whole smoke. How much do you think that drink was?
I figure they charge about $17-18 for that.
$13.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
They're going to be closed in a month. Holy shit, dude.
Dude, it was.
We're hemorrhaging money. I just don't know where.
Yeah, dude, it was. I was utterly impressed. And Meg got, she got the drink she got. It was like the Lucky Charms Martini or something like that. It was like, because it was, it was dude, like,
I may have seen an Instagram post about this.
Really?
Yeah. I might have seen an Instagram post about this.
She loved it, but dude, the food was absolute. Like I said, like door dashing, it's like, it takes a while. You're like, this is really good. Going there, dude, the food was when absolutely it's fresh, phenomenal.
Yeah, 100%.
It was so good, dude. Like, the only downside is it's a very small establishment. Like it used to be a little small Chinese fucking place. And
all right, yep.
And now they're in here. But it's cool because they started off as a food truck.
That's how a lot of some of the best restaurants come up.
Yeah, and they still have the food truck that rides around. But
that's awesome.
Dude, it's so good, man. Like we got to make a plan for you guys to come out here and go there. It is. I was pleasantly surprised, and like the bill was like minute in comparison to like what we got.
Yeah, exactly. That's always the best, man. Always the best.
Yep.
Oh, dude, that is freaking badass. Let's do this. Let's take a quick break. We're going to come back around. In our second segment here, we've got our Just a Tip segment. So if you've got a trip that you're planning, you got a destination that you're going to, or even if it's just new water that's near you that you want to sink a little bit of time into, I've got some tips on how you can go there and be prepared. So like if you're traveling, you don't look like a tourist. That's the idea. We've also got a couple of FTGs this week. One is a call in, one is a text, and then a bunch of stuff in the live well as well. You guys don't want to miss out. Just as a quick reminder, if you're interested in the show, you want to take part in it and call and do an FTG submission or ask a question in the live well or anything like that, even just give a shout out. Go ahead and give us a call or a text at the hotline, 413-324-8519. Put that number in your phone and reach out to us anytime, 413-324-8519. We'll see you guys in a bit. Don't go too far. More Jigs and Bigs coming up in a bit.
And perhaps play a little game called Just a Tip. Just for a second, just to see how it feels. Or ouch, ouch, you're on my hair.
Okay.
Yep. Now, I know some of you guys, hate fishing new water, and you like the comfort of just kind of rolling with it. But when you spend a little bit of time going to a destination, some place you've been looking forward to fishing a lot, you don't want to waste your trip. So this week's Just the Tip is for anybody who's packing up the truck, hitching up the boat, and then heading out somewhere completely new. New lake, new river, maybe new problems. And if you don't have a plan, you're about to donate a few days of your life to confusion and bad decisions. So we're going to try to help you fix that. Step one, is kind of obvious, but do your homework. But definitely don't overthink it. Before you even leave the house, what you want to do is have a rough game plan. Emphasis on the word rough. We're talking about, map study, whether it be Navionics or Google Earth or any app that you're using at all. Take a look at the body of water in advance. Kind of know what you're getting into. Have an idea of where you're launching. Identify the seasonal patterns for when you're going to be there too. So that might sound really obvious, but if you have friends that are in the area that you can contact, get an idea of what's going on. If you're going somewhere up north, and find out how long has ice been off the water, or what have the recent water temps looked like lately. Take a gander at some fishing reports from that area to get some information. And then obviously, and this is for sure something you want to pay attention to, is focus on the high percentage areas, of course. Look at that map and look for points, look for creek mouths, look for flats that are near deep water, look for offshore structure that you want to target. But here's the key. Don't make that homework phase I'm going to solve the lake, because it's never going to happen from your couch. You're not necessarily looking for answers here. What you're looking for is just a short list of starting points. It's almost like your travel itinerary, just like points of interest along the way. And now for your next step, you want to start simple, but you want to start fast. When you hit new water, your job is not to fish slow. Your job is to find fish. So start with moving baits to eliminate the dead water. You want to cover water quickly. So, that's going to be a spinnerbait, a bladed jig, a lipless crank, or any other type of a crank, a swim bait, something like that you can cover water quickly, and be smart about it. Whatever the conditions are that you're dealing with, lean into those. So if you're dealing with wind and clouds, spinnerbait, chatterbait is a great move. If you're dealing with bluebird skies and, minimal wind, maybe go a little bit more subtle with a swim bait. This is all about reconnaissance. It's not finesse fishing. You're asking yourself one question at this point. Where are the active fish living right now? So then the next step would be to let the fish tell you what the pattern is. And for some of you Jigs and Bigs listeners, this is going to sound very familiar, but it definitely holds a lot of weight in this conversation. This is where most anglers are going to screw up. They try to force their confidence bait or even their predetermined agenda instead of just listening to what's going on and picking up the signs that the fish are telling them. Instead, pay attention to when you get a bite. What was the depth? What was the type of cover? Was it rock or grass or was it wood? What was the water clarity? What about wind direction and strength? If you catch one fish, sweet, enjoy that. But if you catch two the same way, now you're on to something. That's when you stop fishing randomly and start fishing intentionally. And what does Bobby Roast Beef always say? One fish is a fish. Two fish is a pattern. The next thing that you want to do is kind of build what they call a milk run. You want to, once you kind of get a clue or something to work off of, try to duplicate it. If you catch one fish on, wind-blown rocky points in a specific depth, like 10 feet or so, guess what? You want to identify every single wind-blown rocky point that's in that depth range. Now you've gone from being a lost tourist to being a bit more dialed into your surroundings. Slow down only when it matters. And after you've found fish, then you can pick up a jig, drag a Texas rig, throw a drop shot all around the area. Too many guys will start off slow. I do often because it's my confidence, and they stay slow. And that kind of eliminates your ability to cut off the dead water. Meanwhile, those fish are going to be somewhere else entirely doing fish shit. Earn the right to slow down before you make that decision. And then adjust by the day, because every day it's going to change, or at least the potential for change exists. New water trips aren't one-day deals. Conditions are going to change. Weather's going to make swings. Pressure's going to adjust. Fishing pressure from other anglers is something to keep in mind too. Maybe that first day you got on there was late in the week, but then the next day you're able to get out is on Saturday and it's just jammed. Keep that in mind. Each day is a new puzzle, but oftentimes it can be improved if you have better information. Keep refining your location, your depth, and your presentation. Keep track of all of this stuff. And confidence is definitely greater than perfection. You're never going to figure it all out, especially over the course of a vacation. But if you can eliminate dead water, you're way ahead of the game. If you can identify one or two patterns, you're even further along. And if you can build confidence in those patterns, it's a home run. You're going to have a way better trip than 90% of the anglers out there if you apply these tips. So here's a little call to action to you guys. We want to hear from you. We want to specifically hear from you guys on this. If you've ever traveled to fish new water, I want to know what worked. I want to know what totally blew up in your face. And I want to know what your go-to approach was when you've got zero history on a body of water. Hit the hotline, call or text us at 413-324-8519 and let us know your best or even better, your worst new water experience. I very well may feature your story in an upcoming episode, either in the live well or maybe back here, especially if it's a train wreck. I live for that stuff. New water doesn't have to be intimidating, guys, but it will expose you if you don't have a plan. Do the homework, fish fast, find the pattern, and then lean hard into it. And that's how you turn a trip into success. Now, there is one thing that I didn't mention in here. And when I was coming up with this idea, it was the idea of fishing with a guide. I am a big proponent of fishing with a guide anytime that you have to maximize your time. This Just the Tip is about when you have an extended period of time to get comfortable with a body of water. And you're not going to be out there with a guide every single day. If you want to go out with a guide, absolutely go for it. But really, if you're going to do this on your own, these are some steps that are going to help you get ahead. Now, Joe, you've fished new water, like I'm thinking Hartwell when you fish down there, West Point, stuff like that. You've had to deal with this before. What did you have to wrestle with, or how did you get ahead to actually do all right?
So I'll be honest, fishing new waters locally scares me a hell of a lot more than fishing local new waters down south. Yeah. Because the fishing and the bass are just so much more abundant down south, and it's more forgiving. Yep. You fuck something up here up home where the fishing's mediocre as it is, you're gonna have a bad day.
It'll be yeah.
But dude, like Hartwell, Hartwell, I found them immediately. It was just kind of like, because there's so many largemouth, so many spots. it's those places that like, oh, that spot looks fishy. There's probably going to be some fish on there because they're so abundant with fish. I'm not saying they're going to be giants and there's going to be 100 of them, but like, Bobby, I have no doubt in my mind. I'm going to knock on wood here. I have no doubt in my mind you're going to find fish on Sandy Cooper.
Yeah, the right fish. Who knows?
Right. Yeah. But it's like West Point. I went down to West Point and that lake, doing research on it, like I entered the tournament kind of before doing the research and knowing like, hey, this is the land of 1 and 2 pound spotted bass.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. Fun to catch, but we caught 1,000 of them.
Yeah.
But you just don't catch anything more than, I mean, you catch bigger hybrid stripers than you do of, the actual bass, or like gar or something. So when it comes to being local, I mean, in like immediate area, other than like spots like we know, like Champlain and like stuff like that's different. But like, let's say like Massachusetts waters, like, or even like New England waters that aren't like big name waters, they scare the hell out of me because the fishing is so mediocre here. Yeah. Outside of those, outside of the Candlewoods and the Champlains and the Winnipesaukis or the like St. Lawrence River if we're going to New York. But down south, dude, like the bass are just so abundant down there. It's just, you go in there, you hit something. How important it is to be confident. Yep. Like for me going down south, I go in there confident. So I'm like, all right, so I have a little bit of room for mistakes here. Sure. Whereas I don't so much back home. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. So to end it locally, new water scares me. Exploring, especially down south, my confidence is usually up and I'm usually excited for it.
It's funny, man, because like I remember the first day that I had gone out fishing for the team tournament this month. When I went out with Wild Bill, we were on that same body of water where you got us up to a limit. And it was like the night or 2 nights before, and I was looking on CMAP, and I'm scrolling around. I'm just looking, and I was like, okay, these are the things that look good. And I just added waypoints on there. And this is I do have to get better with because I'd like to actually just import this shit right to my graph, so that way it's all right there. But I'm slowly getting better. Like as I see something that's something of interest, I'm putting waypoints in so that I can remember. And I even got some intel from an angler that listens to the show regularly that fishes there often, and was like, yeah, you might want to start here, see what you can put together and whatever. I had no luck there. I went back to the original plan. I had 4 different spots that were together. 2 were points. 1 was like a series of humps near some pretty good depth. And 1 was this nice steep bank, but it was a long bank. And just like, I think with the way that the wind was blowing, like that bank seemed to be pay dirt. And it was just a matter of like having a list of like, okay, these things look good. Cause it's one of those things you can go and look back on and say like, a good example is like when Todd and I were on St. Clair. And this is when you're traveling a new place, sometimes the lore of that place starts to get like in front of you. And you're like, you had an idea of what you were looking at before or anything, but I know I didn't have a single waypoint on any map of like, oh yeah, we definitely should go and check this out because this looks really good from whatever. I remember that first Friday we launched the boat and I was like, okay, we're just going to start throwing. Great. You know what I mean? We were like, that's how we're going to pre-fish, see what we can come up with. I think actually Todd had more of an idea in mind of what we should be focusing on or spots that we should look at in advance, but man, that's the thing. It's tough. It is genuinely tough to not get intimidated by new water. But if you go into it with a little bit of a plan and just remember, once you start putting together a pattern, lean into that hard. It goes a long way. We say that shit all the time. But you can apply these same rules to like if you're going across the state and you're just going to go out and take a couple of trips a month, and try and figure a place out. Bobby is getting information. You heard it here first. Benny, I think we're going to need a polygraph. What? Oh, Bobby is getting information. Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying, Zach. Yeah, I would just say, like, you know, I try to inspire everybody to travel as much as possible. I think that's the best thing. You know, fish those new waters, but, you know, capitalize on it instead of wasting time. You know, you take the luck out of it. There's I think it was Chad Hoover used to say this thing where, like, fishing success is basically like experience, like years on the water. I forget what the other one was, like ability or something. And then the third one was luck. And it's that like ratio of the three. Like you have to rely on luck more if your experience isn't, you know, you don't have enough experience to factor into it. So it's just one of those things. Todd chimes in. He goes, yeah, we did best on that first day. I had spots, but the acreage was overwhelming. And I think that's the thing. We didn't really have a true concept of the size of the body of water that we were looking at. Because we're like, oh, yeah, this looks great over here. And it would have taken us forever to get there. You know, it's so that I guess also just comes with experience, having it worked on. But if you're going to an area and you're like, I've got one day to go out and fish, dude, hire a guide. You'd save yourself a bunch of frustration. You know what I mean? You really, really will. Brandon says, can't wait to fish Mass. That's coming up this January. Actually, I think we should push that to the first week of August, man. Brandon, I do. So that way you can be up here for the Boston Anglers event. We got to have Matt on here to talk about that too, because that's going to be awesome. And it's really coming together. August 1st. I don't have all the details, but I'll have them soon and we'll figure all that shit out. But let's go ahead and dive in because we have not one, but we have two entries for this week's FTG.
Hey guys, it's Matt there. One of 10 messages here about LiveScope. No, I'm kidding. Gonna keep it nice and short for you guys, and then Dave Urkey, because you know he doesn't have enough time on his hands, I guess. So, but anyways, calling in an FTG against the state of fucking Rhode Island. They put in these stupid boat wash stations to limit the spread of fucking hydrilla, which basically nobody uses, and it's not the bass boat guys that transported it around. You should research that a little bit if you're interested in that sort of thing. But there's this one lake where if there's an invasive species, it's in there that I fish frequently. It's fishable for a couple months out of the year, and then it gets totally choked out. But that was the first instance of this whole boat wash station. Well, it's still not fucking open. It's just closed. You can't use it. And they're like, oh, well, you better wash the boat. But here it is after opening day of trout. It's not trout stocked, but they put this thing in during the only fishable months of this body of water. So, yeah, you know, it's fuck the state of fucking Rhode Island and the Department of Environmental Management. How about you fucking manage something that's actually, you know, pertinent to fisheries instead of, oh, let's put a bunch of money into these fucking boat wash stations, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, continue on. Have fun recording. I'll see everybody tomorrow that's fishing in the slot limit tournament. Binya, I'm coming after you, just to let you know. Okay, see ya.
If there's one thing states love to do, it's waste fucking money.
Yep.
Like it's a really nice idea to put these boat washing stations, but he's right. Like, just fucking open them, man. Like, if it's that big of a problem where you're going to spend the money, come on, just open them. Mm-hmm. Amazing. The day that there's a ticket for like not washing your boat, the day it happens, I'm telling you, somebody's going to lose their fucking mind.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. 100%. That's crazy, dude. And yeah, having it be the opening weekend for trout in Rhode Island, like, even though it's not stocked, it's at that point, like, they should just 100%, they should all be available. It's not like people aren't fishing there, you know? I'd be curious how many other boats are on that water that day. You know? Be interesting to see. But we have another one. This is a text that came in, and this comes in from Aaron Odenkirk, and he goes, "Fuck that bitch, Mother Nature. Finally ice out up here in Wisconsin. Looking forward to the first slot tourney. We get hit with weeks of record-setting rainfall, tornadoes in the area, heavy thunderstorms, flooding everywhere. Still going to send it. Fuck that bitch. Tight lines." So to you, Aaron, I say congrats. You send it, but be safe, dude. Please do me a solid and don't do anything stupid. Be safe while you're out there and wear your PFD.
All weather's good fishing weather if you're not a pussy.
Oh, God, Joe. All of the shit is documented. I mean, this. Oh man, it's a whole.
We'll bleep
thing.
that out. We'll bleep that. My bad.
Cut that. We're going to take a short break, guys. We're going to come back over, and we have for you this evening a little live well segment, a little bit of the live well segment. A couple of people called in and gave us some input. Actually, we have a really cool question from Eli. We haven't heard from Eli in forever, but we have a good question from him regarding two very popular moving baits and when we utilize them. We'll see you guys in a bit. Don't go too far. More. I almost said smartphone trivia. More Jigs and Bigs coming up after this.
Hi there. Welcome to the Live Well, where we crack open a ramp beer and attempt to answer all of your burning questions.